You ever feel like everyone around you has their life figured out? Like they all have this one thing they're ridiculously passionate about while you're just existing, scrolling through life, waiting for something to click? I get it. You hear people talk about their passions like they were born knowing exactly what they wanted to do. Oh, I've been playing piano since I was 5. Or I just knew I wanted to be a writer since I was a kid. And meanwhile, you're sitting there wondering why you don't feel that kind of spark for anything. Like, what if you just don't have a passion? But here's the truth. Finding your passion isn't some magical revelation. It's not something you discover like buried treasure. It's something you build. And it's way, way simpler than people make it out to be. Because here's what nobody tells you. Most people don't just find their passion. They create it, and you can too. Okay, let's break this down. Think about the things you enjoy, not just the big, dramatic, change the world kind of things. Literally anything that makes you feel even mildly interested. Maybe you love watching crime documentaries. Maybe you always get sucked into those how things are made videos. Maybe you get oddly excited when you learn a new keyboard shortcut. Doesn't matter if it seems small or random. Those are clues. Passion isn't about having some grand, all-consuming purpose. It's about curiosity. It starts small, tiny sparks, things that make you go, huh, that's kind of cool. The mistake most people make, they ignore those sparks because they think passion has to be this huge, life-changing thing right from the start. But passion isn't a thing you find. It's a fire you build, and every little spark is fuel. So instead of stressing about finding your passion, start noticing what naturally pulls your attention. Pay attention to what excites you, even a little bit, because the more you follow those tiny sparks, the more they turn into something real. And before you say, but I don't have anything I'm interested in, let me stop you right there, because that's just not true. You're not bored. You're just distracted. Think about it. We live in a world where we're constantly consuming content, scrolling endlessly, jumping from one thing to another without actually engaging with anything. It's no wonder it feels like nothing excites you. You don't give yourself the chance to actually sit with something long enough to care about it. So here's what you do. For the next week, start paying attention to the things that make you pause, the topics you keep coming back to, even if you don't know why. And when you find something, even if it's just mildly interesting, lean into it. Start messing around with it. Explore it. Give yourself permission to suck at it. Because another thing no one tells you, passion doesn't come fully formed. It grows with experience. The more you do something, the more you care about it. And the more you care about it, the more passionate you become. Think about it like this. Ever notice how the people who are really into something weren't always that way from the start? Like, no one just wakes up one day obsessed with photography. It starts with taking a few pictures, then tweaking the lighting, then getting curious about how cameras work, then trying different styles, and before they know it, they're hooked. That's how passion works. It's built through doing, not through waiting for some magical moment of clarity. Trying new things can feel overwhelming. Like, where do you even start? What if you pick the wrong thing? What if you're bad at it? But that's the point. You're supposed to be bad at first. Passion isn't about being naturally good at something. It's about being interested enough to keep going even when you're bad. You know what's funny? Some of the things I love the most, I hated them when I first tried them. Seriously. The first time I tried writing, I thought I was terrible. The first time I picked up a camera, I had no clue what I was doing, but I kept going. Not because I was instantly passionate about them, but because something about them made me curious enough to keep coming back. And that's what matters. Not some big dramatic realization, just that tiny spark that makes you go, huh, maybe I'll try that again. So if you've been sitting there waiting for your passion to magically appear, stop waiting. Start doing. Explore. Experiment. Let yourself be bad at something. Let yourself be curious. Because passion isn't something you find, it's something you grow. And once you stop looking for it like it's some hidden treasure and start building it from the things you already love, that's when everything changes. So try something. Even if it's small, even if you're bad at it, just start. Because finding your passion, it's ridiculously simple.